Right then, team. Welcome to the first part of our series on the world's most dangerous attractions. My name is Yarnish, and I'll be your guide through these incredible yet undeniably perilous locations. We're not just looking at pretty pictures here, we're delving into places that test the very limits of human endurance and courage. These are environments where one wrong step, one moment of hesitation can mean the difference between an adrenaline-fueled story and a grim statistic. It's about understanding the raw power of nature and the human spirit that dares to confront it. Today we're diving into some of the most thrilling and perilous places you can visit. Forget your average theme park ride. These are the real deal experiences that will leave your heart pounding in your chest and your palms sweating. We're talking sheer drops that plummet for thousands of feet, unseen dangers lurking beneath the surface, and environments so extreme they demand absolute focus and respect. These aren't just destinations, they're challenges, beckoning the brave, the bold, and perhaps the slightly unhinged. So strap yourselves in, check your gear, and prepare to face some of the planet's most formidable landscapes. We'll explore why these spots are so treacherous, what draws people to them, and the kind of grit it takes to even consider setting foot in these domains. This is where adventure meets genuine risk, where the beauty is as breathtaking as the danger is real. Let's get to it. Our first stop is the infamous Yungas Road in Bolivia, more chillingly known as Death Road. This isn't a nickname given lightly. Carved into the side of the Cordillera Oriental Mountains, this track plummets from the high-altitude plains down into the Amazon rainforest. For decades, it was the only route connecting the capital, La Paz, to the town of Coruico, and the price of that connection was steep, measured in countless lives. Imagine a path barely wide enough for a single vehicle, with no guardrails to speak of, just a sheer unforgiving drop of up to 2,000 feet on one side. This is not a place for the faint of heart. It's a relentless test of nerve and skill. The conditions here are as treacherous as they come. Frequent rain and fog can reduce visibility to mere feet, turning the already slick, muddy surface into an ice rink. Landslides are a constant threat, capable of wiping out sections of the road in an instant, leaving drivers and cyclists stranded or worse. Add to that the local traffic rules, or lack thereof, where vehicles drive on the left to give the driver a better view of the precipice. It's a chaotic dance with disaster, where every blind corner could hide an oncoming truck, forcing you perilously close to that deadly edge. The sheer number of crosses and memorials lining the route is a sobering testament to its brutal reputation. Despite a newer, safer road now existing, Death Road still beckons thrill seekers, particularly mountain bikers drawn by the adrenaline rush and the stunning, albeit terrifying, scenery. They come to challenge themselves against its formidable reputation, to feel that raw, primal fear. But make no mistake, even on a bicycle, the dangers are ever present. A moment of distraction, a patch of loose gravel, or a misjudged turn can have catastrophic consequences. This road demands your full, undivided attention every single second. It's a stark reminder of how quickly a beautiful landscape can turn deadly. Next, we journey to China, to Mount Huashan, one of the country's 5 great mountains. It's revered for its religious significance and its breathtaking beauty, but it's also notorious for what's often called the world's most dangerous hike. This isn't your average mountain trail. This is an ascent that requires nerves of steel and a complete disregard for vertigo. The climb involves near vertical staircases carved directly into the rock face, narrow ledges, and the infamous plank road in the sky. This is where the mountain truly tests your mettle, pushing your psychological boundaries to their absolute limit. The plank road is exactly what it sounds like, a series of rickety wooden planks, some looking centuries old, bolted precariously onto the sheer cliff face, thousands of feet above the valley floor. Your only handhold is a rusty chain also bolted into the rock. There's no safety net, no wide walkway, just you, the planks, and an abyss that seems to stretch into infinity. Every step is a calculated risk, every gust of wind a potential threat. You're literally clinging to the side of a mountain with nothing but air beneath your feet. It's an experience that redefines the meaning of exposure and fear. The psychological toll of such a climb is immense. It's not just about physical strength, it's about controlling your mind when every instinct is screaming at you to turn back. The views are undeniably spectacular, a reward for those brave enough to venture here, but they come at a price. The history of Huashan is filled with tales of pilgrims and thrill-seekers who underestimated its dangers. Even with modern safety harnesses, which are now often used, the inherent peril of these ancient pathways remains. This mountain demands respect, and it punishes complacency with brutal efficiency. Now, let's head to the border of Zambia and Zimbabwe to the mighty Victoria Falls, one of the largest and most awe-inspiring waterfalls on the planet, locally known as Mosi Oa Tunya, the smoke that thunders. Its raw power is palpable. But at the very edge of this colossal cascade lies a natural rock pool known as the Devil's Pool, an attraction that offers a thrill unlike any other and a danger that is terrifyingly real. During the dry season, when the Zambezi River's flow is reduced, a rock barrier at the lip of the falls creates an area calm enough for swimming, mere inches from a 355-foot drop. Getting to the Devil's Pool itself is an adventure, involving a rocky walk and swim in the Zambezi, navigating currents that could easily sweep you towards the main torrent. Once there, you can lie at the very edge, peering over into the thundering abyss, as millions of gallons of water per second crash down beside you. The roar is deafening, the spray is blinding, and the sheer force of nature is overwhelming. It's an experience that sits on a knife edge between exhilarating and utterly terrifying. That thin rock lip is the only thing separating you from an almost certain demise. The risks are obvious and immense. A sudden surge in water levels, a slip on the slick rocks, or a moment of overconfidence could have fatal consequences. Guides are present and safety protocols are in place, but you are quite literally dicing with one of the world's most powerful natural forces. The deceptive calm of the pool can lure you into a false sense of security, but the thunderous roar and the vibrating ground are constant reminders of the immense power just inches away. It's a place where you feel incredibly alive, precisely because you are so close to potential death. Our next destination is a place where the danger is invisible, yet profoundly present, the Chernobyl exclusion zone in Ukraine. The site of the catastrophic nuclear disaster in 1986, this area remains one of the most contaminated places on Earth. Venturing into the zone, particularly the abandoned city of Pripyat, is like stepping into a post-apocalyptic film set, a haunting memorial to a tragedy that reshaped the world. The danger here isn't a sheer drop or a raging current, it's the silent, insidious threat of radiation. Pripyat, once a bustling city of nearly 50,000 people, now stands frozen in time. Schools still have books open on desks, toys lie scattered on kindergarten floors, and the iconic Ferris wheel, which never actually operated, stands as a ghostly sentinel over the decaying city. Nature is slowly reclaiming the concrete, with trees growing through buildings and wildlife surprisingly thriving in the absence of humans. But the radiation hotspots remain, particularly in areas where radioactive dust settled or where contaminated materials were buried. Geiger counters crackle ominously, reminding you of the unseen peril. Visitors are allowed in on strictly controlled tours, with guides ensuring they avoid the most dangerous areas and adhere to safety protocols like not touching anything or sitting on the ground. But even with these precautions, there's an undeniable psychological weight to being in a place so defined by disaster and invisible threat. It's a stark reminder of humanity's capacity for error and the long-lasting consequences of our actions. The eerie silence, broken only by the wind and the clicking of Geiger counters, makes Chernobyl an unsettling and unforgettable experience, a true journey into a modern-day ghost town. For our final stop in this part of the series, we travel to Spain, to El Caminito del Rey, or the King's Little Pathway. This walkway, pinned precariously along the steep walls of a narrow gorge in Malaga, has a history as dramatic as its setting. Originally built in the early 20th century to provide workers at a hydroelectric plant access between two waterfalls, it quickly fell into disrepair, earning it the moniker of the world's most dangerous walkway for many years, long before its recent renovation. Imagine a concrete path, often less than a meter wide, crumbling and with gaping holes, clinging to a sheer cliff face over 300 feet above the Guadalhorce River. For decades, thrill-seekers and climbers, drawn by its notorious reputation, navigated this decaying structure, often without safety equipment. The original handrail was long gone in many sections, and steel rebar protruded from the concrete, offering a grim reminder of the path's treacherous nature. Numerous fatalities occurred here, cementing its deadly legend and leading to its closure for over a decade. While El Caminito del Rey has since been extensively renovated with a new, much safer wooden walkway built above the old one, you can still see remnants of the original terrifying path beneath your feet. The sheer drops are still there, the gorge is just as deep, and the sense of exposure remains incredibly potent. The renovation has made it accessible to more people, but it hasn't entirely tamed the wildness of its environment. It stands as a testament to human ingenuity and daring, both in its original construction and in the spirit of those who braved it in its most perilous state. It's a walk that still quickens the pulse, offering breathtaking views and a tangible connection to its dangerous past. And that, team, brings us to the end of the first leg of our journey through the world's most dangerous attractions. From the precipitous drops of Death Road to the ghostly silence of Chernobyl, we've seen places that truly challenge the human spirit and remind us of the raw, untamed power of our planet, and sometimes the consequences of our own actions. These aren't just spots on a map. They are crucibles, forging unforgettable experiences for those who dare to venture into them, always with a healthy dose of respect and preparation. But our exploration of peril is far from over. Stay tuned for part 2, where we'll explore even more of the world's most dangerous attractions. We'll be venturing to even more extreme environments, uncovering stories of survival and confronting the kind of dangers that most people only read about. The world is full of incredible, heart-stopping places, and we're only just scratching the surface. Remember, adventure is out there, but so is risk. It's about finding that balance and pushing your limits responsibly. Thank you for joining me, Janusz, on this adrenaline-fueled adventure. If you felt your heart pound even a little, or if you're already planning your next safe thrill, then we've done our job. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for more thrilling content. Your support keeps us going, exploring the most incredible and challenging corners of the globe. Until next time, stay safe, stay adventurous, and always respect the power of the wild.